All right, Algebra 1, we are talking 5.3, which is point-slope form. And point-slope form is another form of an equation. The first two equations we've talked about are slope-intercept, which is this one, y equals mx plus b. That's the one we're going to use most of the time. That's kind of our favorite equation, y equals mx plus b. And then the other one was standard form, ax plus by equals c. So we're going to be using y equals mx plus b basically all the time. But this one is called point-slope form. So it's called point-slope because you have two things given to you to make this, a point and a slope. Okay, so to write the equation of the line passing through a point, x1, y1, with the slope of m, you can use the point-slope form. Okay, and this is the point-slope form. It's y minus y1, which is the y value of your point, equals m, which is the slope, times x minus the x value of the point. Okay, so you've got three things to plug in, x1, y1, and m. Okay, so just like here, we have x and y that stay there. They don't get plugged in for. Same thing here for point-slope form. The y and the x don't get plugged in for. It's the x1 and the y1 that get replaced, as well as the m. Okay, so let's do this first example here. Okay, so keep that equation in mind. We've got our first one, number 1, is 4, 1, and a slope of 2, and we want to get it in slope-intercept form by the end. But we start out in point-slope form. Okay, so y minus the y value. So let's label our stuff here. The m value is 2, x1 is 4, y1 is 1. So it's going to be y minus the y value, which in this case is 1. So y minus 1 equals m, which is 2 in this case, times parentheses x minus the x value, in this case being 4. That's it. That's point-slope form. And so now to get it in slope-intercept form, we go ahead and distribute and solve. So we've done this before. Distribute the 2. So y minus 1 stays the same. So 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. And then we go ahead and add 1 to both sides to get the y by itself. And we get y. Oh, and yeah, we're adding 1 to negative 8 because it's a constant. So y equals 2x minus 7, and there's our slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. So let's do it again. Keep in mind your point-slope form here, m times x minus x1. So y minus, here's our x1 and y1. So y minus 0 equals 2 over 3 is the m, and then times parentheses x minus negative 6. Now, minus a minus here becomes a plus, just like with our slope form. This is our minus becomes plus. So now we can go ahead and distribute again. So 2 over 3 times x, 2 over 3 times 6. Y minus 0 basically stays the same. You can just say y, or you can keep the minus 0, either way. Equals 2 over 3 times x is 2 over 3x. And then 2 over 3 times 6, if you aren't sure what that is, put that 6 over 1 and then just multiply the top times the top and the bottom times the bottom. So top times top is 12, bottom times bottom is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. And so let's simplify. 2 over 3x plus 12 divided by 3 is going to be 4. Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to take that away. So 4. And then we just add whatever or subtract whatever's with y. So plus 0 to both sides. You don't really have to do that, but if you do, you still get 4. So y equals 2 over 3 x plus 4. Excuse me. Okay, so let's look at the next one here. Once again, we have x1, y1, and our slope. So y minus negative 3 equals our slope, negative 1, times x minus 4. Okay, so at this point, again, minus a minus becomes plus, so let's distribute. Negative 1 times x, negative 1 times negative 4. So negative 1x, negative times negative is positive 4. And now we go ahead and get the y by itself by subtracting by 3. And so we've got y equals negative 1x plus 1 as our final answer. Okay, so let's do a few more examples here. And we're about done, but there is a couple kind of special ones that we'll talk about here. Okay, so y1, x1, we've got m. So let's set it up. Y minus negative 5, that's going to become plus, but let's write it all out. 1/3 times x minus negative 12. And again, both of those become plus, so let's go ahead and change those to plus. And now we can go ahead and distribute and solve. So 1/3 times x. So y plus 5 equals 1/3x. And 1/3 times 12, again, you can change that to 12/1, and we get 1 times 12 is 12, 3 times 1 is 3, and then simplify. So y plus 5 equals 1/3x plus 4. And so, just get y by itself by subtracting by 5, and there's our answer, 1/3x minus 1. Okay. So another one with a fraction. These fractions can be a little challenging, but again, just if you're multiplying fractions, make them both fractions. So x1, y1, we've got y minus negative 9. So that's going to become plus here in a second. Negative 2/5 x, negative 2/5 times x minus 5. And so that becomes a plus there for the 9. Distribute. So y plus 9 equals negative 2/5x. And then negative times negative becomes positive. And again, make that over 1. 2 times 5 on top is 10. And then 5 times 1 on bottom is 5. And so that's going to become 2. So negative 2/5x plus 2. And then you still got the y plus 9 on the other side. So our last step, get the y by itself. Y equals negative 2/5x minus 7. And so let's go ahead and skip over number 11 and get to these last two because they're kind of different. So number 13 is different because we have a slope of 0, but it's still set up the same. So y minus y1, so it's going to end up being y minus negative 4. And then that equals 0 times parentheses x minus 3. So we kind of know 0 times anything is 0. And so with this, I've got 0 times x is 0, so y plus 4 equals 0 minus 0. And so y plus 4 equals 0, I'm still going to get y by itself. So subtract 4, and I end up with y equals negative 4. And I know it looks weird, but that is our answer, okay? And then the last one ends up being kind of weird because something cancels in this case. And that's okay. Everything works the same as the other problem. So x1 and y1, we have a slope of negative 1/4. So y minus y is y minus 1, 1/4 times x minus x, which becomes plus 4, and then distribute. So y minus 1 equals negative 1/4x, and then negative times positive is negative, and again, 4 times 1 on top is 4, 4 times 1 on bottom is also 4. And so if you have 4/4, that's just negative 1. So negative 1/4x minus 1, and then y minus 1 on the other side. So as always, we get y by itself. In this case, add 1 both sides, and they actually both cancel out. So negative 1/4x plus 0, or just negative 1/4x, and that's our final answer. Okay. So again, don't forget to only plug in for m and x1 and y1. Okay. Other than that, just make sure to set your problem up, and then once you distribute, solve for y. And that's about it. So Good luck on the homework. Peace.